Good morning, genealogy friends. I've lost my Post-its. So instead of having a Post-it title, I just typed it out on my computer. But you can consider this a high-tech upgrade. So fancy. We're going to be talking about searching by telephone number today because on Monday we talked about using that 1950 census prep page, and I suggested that you look in city directories and telephone directories and things like that to find the address, which would lead you to the enumeration district. And while you're doing that, you're also probably going to be encountering telephone numbers if you're looking at addresses that are close to 1950. Let me flip this around. I mean, realistically, you're going to be encountering telephone numbers a lot earlier. It actually took a while for my family, this family that I'm looking at, to get a telephone. To get a telephone. So it took them a while to get a telephone number, but by the 50s they had one. So the fun thing about that is that if you've never searched by telephone number, it's sort of a surprise what you're going to find. So I wanted to show you what that looked like for this part of my family. It's funny because this actually isn't as successful as other parts have been, but this was a quick and dirty search. Okay, so what I did is I went to newspapers.com, and let me flip you around. And I didn't search for telephone numbers right away. I searched for Quan Brothers. This is the name of the company that my great-grandmother ended up taking over from my great-grandfather after he died. And I just looked in California because it was a California business. They were in San Rafael. And I went down until I found an advertisement that was the right Quan Brothers. And here it is. It's not highlighted, but you can see this thing that says Fresh Bay Shrimp Daily, Quan Brothers China Camp. This is what they did. They rented out fishing boats, and they sold shrimp, and they sold other fish. So this right here is the telephone number. I kind of feel like I'm not going to have to explain that, but it doesn't look like the telephone numbers that we're used to, so there's a chance that you won't recognize it. So this is GL 3-9877, that's the phone number. It's not the only phone number that they had. This was their business phone number that went to the cafe. They also had a personal phone number later, but let's look for this one first. So I just looked for that. Here, wait, can I blow this up a little bit? Sorry, I got a real big computer. I just looked for this phone number, and I looked in California, and not too many things came up. There was a couple of the same ad that I had seen before, and then of course, there are things that are available with Publisher Extra, which I don't have right now. I have that sometimes, and then sometimes I let it expire. So those things could pertain to my family, but I don't know. But something that I found was this ad here. I wouldn't have found this because they don't have Quan Brothers listed, but this is a different ad, just advertising that they have fresh cooked crab. This is an ad for the cafe, not for the shrimp shop. And you can see that I pulled that up based on searching for the phone number. Another phone number that I found, let's see, now I zoomed in too much. Right here, this is talking about a lost dog. Answers to the name Sam, Quan Brothers China Camp, and then this is a different phone number down here. This is San Rafael 651J1. So I looked for 651J1 only in California, and everything that came up is, this Chico one was a nothing. All of this stuff is protected. But this is the kind of thing, you're going to have lost dogs. Let me flip you around again. You're going to have lost dogs. You might have people who are selling furniture, people who are selling businesses, anything where they're going to be conducting some sort of business where they need somebody to contact them. You may only be finding it by the telephone number, because if they were hiring out for somebody to help around the house, or if they were selling a piano, things like that, they're probably not going to be putting their name into the advertisement. Even in small papers, you're paying by the word. So it makes sense for them to just have basic information, and then the only identifying factor is going to be that phone number. So while you're doing your 1950 prep, make a list of phone numbers that you can search for, and make sure to do a little note so that you know where you're searching. Phone numbers became exclusive, is that the right word? You did have phone numbers who were duplicated from state to state at the very beginning, and then pretty soon they figured out that that wasn't going to work because it confused the switchboards and all sorts of stuff. So then you had the location that was in front of these duplicated numbers, and now of course we have area codes and then the phone numbers. So there's a chance that if you're just looking for the number part and you're looking in the wrong state, you're going to be pulling up a lot of stuff that has nothing to do with your family. So make sure that you're focusing your search just for the right location. Also, I'm on newspapers.com. Don't forget that newspapers.com is not the only place that you can search for newspapers. The Library of Congress has their Chronicling America, which has a ton of newspapers, and that's free. A lot of state historical websites have newspapers online. Depending on your local library, you might have newspapers that have been digitized. Your local library also might have access to newspapers.com if you don't pay for it. I paid for... what's the other one? Paid for it, and then I never used it. I went an entire year and didn't use it. Genealogy Bank, is that it? I have no idea how good that is because I paid for it and was like, oh, I'm going to sit down and use this. Nope, I am not. Spoiler alert, Carly was not going to sit down and remember that she had paid for that. I only remembered because I got an email thing saying that my subscription was lapsing and it was going to renew. And I was like, did I buy that? No idea. Anyway, but yeah, searching for that phone number will work on many different sites. You can even sometimes find digitized newspapers on Internet Archive, so don't forget about that. Yeah, that was all I wanted to talk about today. I hope your 1950 census prep is going swimmingly. We are down to single digits as far as how many days we're going to have to wait for that 1950 census. On Friday, I'm going to be talking about the intermediate course. Those of you who are in the intermediate course, it's tonight, right? Yeah, we're chatting tonight for our follow-up call, and I will send out a reminder right now, because if I don't do it right now, I will forget. Other than that, I will just see you guys on Friday.